Welcome everyone, it's Vapage Dracomar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. I can't do that boss anymore. It's mentally bending me out of shape. So hard. It's mentally bending me out of shape. I just don't feel like I want to do it right now because I've tried a bunch of combinations and I don't know. I don't know what to do. Every time I try something new, it bends it against me, and it's destroying my mental state, so I can't. I'm just gonna focus on I gotta reset my mental at the very least. Okay, I'll put it this way. I've got to reset my mental after a while of doing the boss because the boss tilts me really hard. Yeah. And you see, the thing is, because the boss tilts me real hard, I don't play very well after that. So, it's this vicious cycle, this boss. And Vogoth isn't in the best state, despite appearances. Speaking of Vogoth, nah, I don't have enough silver. I have to grind that off screen. I have to grind silver off screen, as disgusting as that sounds. Because it is rather disgusting, but it's kind of what I'm condemned to doing. Okay, yeah, their Elhain is kind of weak. The thing about the whole problem, obviously, is... see, the other boss, what mind games me so hard is it copying my stats. That's the part that really hurts me in the mind. Like, why it's so hard for me to beat it. I had to delete all my previous attempts. Just because the boss hurts me, like, in so many ways, on so many levels, that it's very hard for me to do anything. Mentally, physically, everything. It's terrible. Like, I don't even remember exactly what I did to beat the other one with the other account. And the worst part about that one is that it doesn't apply to this account. Whatever I did there doesn't apply. Oh, Demon Spawn Crypt is open. I could do it on my other account. Yeah. The other one's probably the simplest, and then I have to do regular ones just to, you know, have enough tokens each day. Because at the end of the day, I just try to focus on Drexthar. Because I don't know. I want to do that because the boss is tormenting me in the mind right now, and it's doing it so hard that I can't make progress any other part of the game if I keep doing that. That's the thing. Because Doom Tower isn't all of Raid. It really isn't. And not everyone is going to perfectly copy your stats and everything. And even if they do, they're not going to play it perfectly with like that weird way that boss does it. They're just not. Like, I don't know what that boss does, but it mind games the hell out of me. Like, once it copies the enemy, it just mind games me the hell out. So each is 350. Because like, it's like Arena. It's not really like Arena. It's pseudo Arena. It's the true mind game Arena. I hate how he's under a perfect fail too, so I can't hit him. Because every time he does that, why did that not kill him? There we go. At least we increase the duration here. There we go. We outplayed him. All right. I have a feign. Okay, so 25 minutes. We can get it. Which will be good. I have to remember. I really wish I didn't do that boss tonight. Like, the tower's not even about to reset, and that boss just messed me over in the head so hard. The Dark Fae. I have to keep trying to... Oh, no, not a Soulless. Oh, no. I've heard stories about you. I've heard stories about you, sir. Okay, thank God. Because if any of those stories have been believed, I have to kill you, and now. Here's the thing. Vogoth is not as good for Dark Fae, I don't think, as he appears. I think I've seen this champion before. Like, I think I've owned this champion before. Interesting choice, Summoner. Interesting choice. Okay. So, gotta look at my backup plans. What did we not get done? Okay, no, we did that. I just got wrecked by this boss who is so stupid and wicked that it's hard to mentally process. Nobody has even fought the termite today. Besides me. Okay. Let's do some ice golem. And preferably not with the full high elves team. Let's try an experimental team comp. I want to do an experiment. Because I'm sorry, but Dark Fae is driving me insane. Like, legitimately. Okay, let's just do regular arena. Look for some... Okay, he resisted. Okay, yeah. This is where it begins. Okay, you know what? I do want to try something else. instead of this team comp, I want to try Syl in here, because I think that would be more beneficial. I want to try Syl, because she might not proc as many of the things, as many of the wicked. The main thing with this team comp is I don't want to provoke. I don't want to provoke the boss itself. So like, the reason I'm saving the burn is I want to save it. I want to try the Vizier ninja strat where because I want to try like stacking HP burn on the boss as a way to reduce retaliation, because it would make a cleaner fight maybe to do that. Like, I know for a fact that if I put Drexthar on here, might be really good, because I don't think the burn activates the Frigid Vengeance, the Retribution Strike. See? So we have that. Vogoth heals. And then we increase the debuff duration from there. But it might reduce. So see, like Vizier, he's not exactly doing what he typically does, but he normally increases the duration of the buffs. So this comp wasn't exactly a success. But it might work better on a different affinity. Maybe. Maybe on stage 12 with a different affinity. Maybe it's the affinity that's ruining the accuracy of his move. Because I do believe it's affected by accuracy. Or like affinity. Because he isn't void affinity. I'd rather go for a lower one than a higher one. Like not too low, but just low enough that it might give Vizier time to do his BS. Because that's what I generally want to do in this experimental. Because I have to save the food for the Drexthar. The Drexthar is only in 3 frags, or 4 frags total. Now I know that sounds bad. Right now, I'm just trying to do some Ice Golem because... See, that's what I wanted him to do. What he just did there. I want him to do that. And then... go in and then increase debuff. See, that's what I wanted him to do. He does that on Clan Boss all the time. And then he does it. And then she intervenes. And then he increases duration. That's what you want him to do. That was the theory crafting, see? That was what the experimental team comp was. Now, there will be a better one when I hatch Drexthar, obviously. But by that point, the tournament's already over. So... that was the theory craft. Now there is one further theory craft in the works involving a cult brawler. Wondering how good he could be for this boss. I want to smack him with that. Can we get him stunned? Of course not. Of course not. Okay, that was a bad plan. See the power of that? Ooh, there's a juicy one. I still have to do Ice Golem, though. I'm going to try kind of a nasty team on Ice Golem. Other than the one I just did with Vizier. Let's try this. Because again, the game is slowly rising me up in the ranks. So I'm gonna actually be fighting like real opponents a lot of the time. Like, what I mean by real, I mean like like stronger adversaries. Like not much stronger, but strong enough to present a definite challenge, if you will. Potentially, at least. I'm always very scared whenever I see a Battle Khazar. That champ is really strong and really, really rare. Oh no, he broke free. Like whenever I see the buffs blocked is one of the funniest things ever. One thing that's really funny about facing Pixniel, she does no damage. High Katoon does more damage. Jizo does more damage. He's probably building full tank, and he's doing more damage than a Pixniel, a legendary champion. That should never be the case. It should never be the case. I feel omega bad about everyone that had to do Pixniel. Okay, I am stuck in a very unpleasant situation here. Because I'm pretty sure this team is extremely annoying. The team that I'm against. Both extremely defensive and extremely annoying. The only good thing is that I don't think they do a lot of damage. Because they don't really have a damage dealer. It's just a raw arena defense. Now, if there's anyone I want to target, it's probably Gorgorab. Because I seriously hate Gorgorab. Um... Yeah, I kind of do like... The one thing I like about their team doesn't do a lot of damage. In fact, it might be worth putting Armiger in here and like on second thought, Armiger might have been a better idea. Because then I could like block their revive. But I gotta remind myself not to be too afraid. They don't really do any damage. Not anything like most enemy team comps. Most enemy team comps do an unbelievable amount of damage and are really disgusting in terms of the damage department. But yes, Armiger would have been a better choice. The fact that they have double revive doesn't help matters for me. Because they had the luck to pull that. And I didn't. This account was not blessed with a reviver until 180 days in. Literally. Why the hell would you attack the Vogoth? Okay, these people I think are going to be beatable. Just by the mere virtue that they keep attacking the Vogoth. I think, though I could be wrong about this, I think their strategy was like perma lockout with defense. That's what I'm thinking, because the Lysandra reeks of permanent lockout. That's what this looks like. Like that's what this tells me. Cuz every team comp has a story to tell. Killing their Sill is going to be an absolute pain in the ass. But I'm going to tell you that I'm going to need to do it. Because without that, we are not going to get anywhere. So this is how their team works. It works. Like mine's pretty defensive, but so is theirs. It's very annoying. I probably, on retrospect, should have went something to decrease the defense. Like I knew I needed a speed lead, because if we didn't have a speed lead here, we would never get anywhere. That part is clear as day. So yeah, there was no leaving Haikatoon out of the picture. Okay, yeah, we're going to want to really focus down the Sildrix. This is going to be like a 10-minute slog of doom. I hate defensive teams like this. It's so infuriating to deal with. At least we got the Gorgrab out of the picture. This is so frustrating, but I'm not gonna give in that easy. Yeah, don't attack the Vogoth. I think you've learned that attacking the Vogoth is an extremely bad plan. God, this is annoying. Just die already. Die. Thank you. And good night. This reminds me of that really annoying arena battle I had back where I was doing Vergus versus Burengiri Taragi. Oh no. That was so disgusting. Oh my god. It's like just no. I was like, just no. Like almost all of this other stuff. Look how defensive some of this stuff is. Ugh. It's gross. Here we go. And with that, 3 frags to go. Three frags to go. Why did I even bother going for the prizes on that tournament? Of course not. But at least one thing is for sure, as I go fight Termite again, I want to get a half decent run on that nut bar. I have to save the food. I have to show restraint and save the food. This seems like a good deal, but then it also will do one void shard. One. Okay, I have to check if I have this champion already. Revives a dead ally. Yeah, having a revive is pretty dang good. So, you know, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about getting a res. I mean, I would normally if it was the other account, but this account is like very fiendishly short on reses. And when I say fiendishly short, I mean it in the most vivid sense. Yep. No, you're not hallucinating. That was my first ever gear grinder for this account. My third ever resurrector, actual resurrector on this account. Proper resurrector. Yeah. Uh-huh. We can vault him if we like, but you don't know how short this account is on resurrectors. It's criminally low on resurrectors. I did not get resurrectors like until way late into the game. Like way the hell late. Now, there is one void shard on my other account that, because of its luck, might give us something nuts. Now, there is a third way of doing it, but I have to grind food off screen. Now, you may ask, why the hell would I do that? Okay, first things first. It's a rare. Okay. What does this champ do? This could be good. Definitely a shout out to Night Revs. Definitely. The question is, do I already have this champion? That's the real question. Oh, she's a dupe. Oh, well. Ah, well. No point in blowing my other stuff when I got a dupe. But yeah, that other account got its third ever reviver. Which doesn't sound great, but it's more than it sounds. because... Alright, we can do some Ice Golem. I can actually do a pretty mean Ice Golem. I'm going to try this one. But I'm going to try it with Burngiri. I'm going to have Burngiri up front. Because the problem with having Kale against a Force Affinity Ice Golem at this level is we are going to get owned. Because Force Affinity Ice Golem at this level is going to be Omega Nasty. Like, Omega Nasty. Because those Retribution hits are going to be absolutely ghastly. That's the problem with that. Because, yeah, Burngiri is probably good in Ice Golem. Like, I can make him work in Bommel a bit too, but the problem with Bommel is that Bommel is so obnoxious on Bommel 2 that I literally can't do anything versus that. Like, it's just that stupid. And I'm pretty sure that even if I beat the Dark Fae on there, it's going to be almost impossible for me to beat the Bommel 2, even with that. Like, somehow I can just tell. Although, I can't really tell, though, until I try my absolute hardest to get Drexthar. I'm taking these waves a bit slow because I don't want my major skills to be on cooldown when I get to the boss. I don't have any major nukers that are really good at this level that can maybe I'm thinking maybe Mortu Macabre. But the problem with Mortu Macabre is that he's going to trigger a lot of Retribution. And Retribution against this version is going to be extremely nasty. The Weaken. Transfer. Yeah, we don't want these debuffs. We don't want these debuffs. And see, this account can do what the other account cannot in terms of Ice Golem. Because we have got good burners here that don't trigger the retribution hit. Now that's all going to change because when I hatch Drexthar, it'll be the missing component. Why Drexthar is the missing link for that account. Because it's going to give me the burn. Like a way into the Ice Golem. I know that the Ice Golem tournament's going to end, but the next time Ice Golem tournament or whatever comes in, it's going to be really clutch. Because then I'm going to have a burner to burn the boss. Because if you have a burner that just burns and doesn't slam the boss too hard, as you can see, it doesn't really trigger too much of the retribution hits. See? Like, he'll put numbing chill on you, sure. But it doesn't trigger the retribution hit. And that's what you want. You don't want to trigger the retribution hit. Because for some reason, the HP burn doesn't trigger the hit. Now, a lot of other things will trigger the hit, but if you set it up so that most of it is low damage hits, and then you have the rest of it be burning, the burning should facilitate the death of the boss. Now, I could be wrong, and I'm partially wrong, because yes, he just technically put up the thing. I also should probably put Mortu in here in the first place, because Mortu would be more suited affinity-wise. I put Sanguinia in here because Sanguinia rips is the block debuff queen. See, by not triggering the retribution hit, I can get to much higher stuff. Here we probably want more to Macabre. But we want Burngiri up front. So yeah, at least I'm making Ice Golem progress, you know? At least I'm doing that. All new Ice Golems. Why Drexthar is the missing link. That's what I should call this. Because that's what this is. Because the other account lacks a proper burner. This, I believe, is the highest I can go because it's the highest I can keep my suckers safe. But it's doable. I truly believe it's doable. This wave is pretty obnoxious. And it's pretty difficult to keep Sathia alive through the waves of this magnitude. Okay, we've got to block buffs though, so that should help. The reason I'm not bothering to bring the other sucker in is I don't think that I want to bring Kale into a version. See, the problem is Kale would trigger the retribution hit for some reason. And that would be a serious issue. Okay, yeah. We are going to have a little bit of trouble with the boss when we get in there. Because this is the first one where I literally have to declare war on their whole wave just to do anything. This is the highest level of Ice Golem that I'm ever going to attempt, because it's literally taking me an unbelievable amount of time just to get through the waves. That's how you know you've reached your limit. When the waves itself is like the final boss. Well, I'm just going to have to attempt this without Sathia. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Oh. God, this is so infuriating to try to deal with this. Oh, man. This is so annoying. Oh, that feels satisfying. These waves, though. This is the hardest ice golem I have ever attempted in the history of this game. Literally the hardest. Like and subscribe if you like this content, because I swear to God, this is the hardest. Shoving limits of ice golem past all reason. Maybe that's what I should call this. Because that's what this really is. My other account can't dream of doing this on Ice Golem, by the way, until we get Drexthar, because I need something to stop the Ice Golem from, like, I need a damage source that's unbelievably tanky and does damage even under extreme pressure. Okay, we made it to the Ice Golem. Oh, Lord. Wow, this feels nuts. I have never attempted this. This is going to take a while at the very least. And that's if we make it. Which I don't even know if we will. Will we make it? I don't think so. That doesn't mean that Burngiri can't have a try. As you can see, Burngiri is probably the most outrageous champion I've ever had in this fight. Unfortunately, the heel cuts from the Guardians are going to be my grave because Sanguinia died. But that's the highest I've ever shoved it